Welcome to Conflict Topic number 2. This video is called Racial Issues Always Hurt Me the Most. So, sit down and enjoy. I want to talk about this because this needs to be said on every level. Racism tends to play a part in every argument, in every cycle of something going on. Race plays a part. Race issues plays a part, and even if you're in a country where everybody is of the same race and looks the same, racism plays a part because there's classifications. For those who have no idea what I'm talking about, Tiananmen Square. China has a classification of certain Chinese because you have like the Hmong, the people of the Han, and you have other different Chinese, like, don't go into colors because there's like red Chinese. I have no idea what any of that shit means because I'm not Chinese. But they do have a classification of your Chinese heritage. And if you're Chinese, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Where you're all Chinese because you're all from China. But you have your nobility, and then you have everyone else. And then you have beneath everyone else because you have your nobility, your peasants, and your peasants also count into your farmers and all the other things that make the world go round. And so, for those who are not Chinese, that was your quick, brief lesson on Chinese racism towards more Chinese. And it's the same thing with like the Chinese in Indochina, the Chinese in Nepal, and their battle with the Dalai Lama and all the other stuff that I've just racially insulted you guys on. You know, the thing is, if you do a deep dive into this shit, you will be surprised at the infighting in races. This also happens in Japan. This also happens in Malaysia. This also happens in Indonesia. This also happens in Thailand. This happens in Taiwan. And the reason is because Thailand, Bangkok, Thailand, is a part of China. And I believe, and I could be wrong on this, you guys can fact check me, and I'm pissing off every Chinese person that I know right now. Indochina and Thailand are both part of China and both discovered by Chinese settlers. Okay? Same thing with Hong Kong, which is why when Hong Kong got back to China from the British rule, it caused the clusterfuck that's been happening a few months ago. If Britain was still in charge of Hong Kong, the people in Hong Kong wouldn't have the problems that they're having right now. I'm pretty sure they're just realizing that shit, but they probably should have realized that way back before Hong Kong was given back to China. So now the people of Hong Kong are like in an uproar and they're fighting, and this is that Chinese racism that I'm talking about. Because you know, a lot of people moved to Hong Kong to escape China's communism and other stuff. You guys really got to check this stuff out because when you learn this shit, you be like, oh, in 5 years from now, somebody's gonna find this video and say, you know, that little half-breed motherfucker was right. But the problem is that no matter what society, there's going to be self-racist society, and racial issues hurt me the most because I've been a victim more of reverse racism than racism. I've had more issues with more black people than I've had with whites and Asians. To be honest, I get along better with Asian people than I do with black people. I get along better with white people sometimes than I do with black people. I'm just one of those people, I guess, that a lot of people are just like, oh, well, you're a fucking half-breed, so you should be able to get along with everybody. But here's the thing with that, you know, as a person who is mixed, I don't have the right to be a racist. I do believe that there are times where you should probably not voice racial opinions and not make statements like, I'm not a racist because all of my friends are black. That doesn't make you any more or less racist. That just means you get along with a bunch of people differently. No. And the thing is, you don't know how a person feels when they leave your side. You don't know how a person feels about you or your ethnicity when y'all leave work. Alright? And I've always said this, and I'll say this until the day I die, because I've had to say this to quite a few people. You know, I'd rather know that you're a racist to my face, but with a working respect, than not know that you're a racist, because I don't want to, like, be on the other end of a protest and see you in the crowd and like, oh, this guy's a racist. Now, when I was younger, one of my friends, he had a roommate who had a father who was a twin brother. And both of them straight up told me they were racist. They got to know me, But they still said that they were racist. They said, we don't really have a problem with you because you're a half breed, but at the same time, we don't fucking like black people. And they did not use the word black people. They straight up used the word niggers. We don't like niggers. And I'm in this house, and I'm thinking to myself, are these motherfuckers gonna let me leave this goddamn house? But pump your brakes, people, pump your brakes. Because they were the coolest, realest white people I ever met in my life. And I have mad respect for that shit because they straight up told me, we know you mixed. We don't really have a problem with you because you are mixed. We don't know what you're mixed with, but we know you're mixed and we don't really fault you for that. But we don't fucking like niggers. And all I could do was like, cool. I'm glad you're honest. Now my bro, he was there and his roommate was one of their kids, and they were all white people. Now their son had a beautiful girlfriend. I will leave their names off because they had some issues and I don't know what ever happened to them. I still love them and care for them and I will always wonder what happened to them. And the other roommates, when I met my boy Scott, how you doing, brother? And when they told us, Scott wasn't in the room. Scott was like down in his room, and I went to go see my bro, whose also name will be left off for other limited reasons. They lived up the hill from Belmont Park, and so I went to go and I talked with a roommate, and I was like, "Damn, dude, your dad and your uncle, they real as shit." He's like, "Yeah, sorry about that. They kind of racist." I was like, "Hey, man, there ain't nothing wrong with them being racist because they were honest about that shit. I don't want to be around someone who's racist and not honest about that shit, because that person that, oh, I hate that black bastard, or I hate that Asian bastard, I hate that mixed motherfucker, I hate that white motherfucker. When I leave, if they're planning my death, at least with your parent and his twin brother, I know where the fuck I stand. Because they straight said, we don't have a problem with you because you're mixed. You can't help that somebody in your family fucked up, you know or somebody was a victim of an unplanned rape pregnancy, because that's generally how a lot of us mixed people came into existence. Can't speak for myself because I don't know. But, I mean, for myself, I was conceived out of love and marriage, but my ancestors before me, I can't speak for. Because a lot of people wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the raping, pillaging, and plundering of their villages and their origin countries, okay? Let's keep that shit real. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video, because racial issues always hurt me the most, because you don't really know where you stand with some people. You can have the greatest white friends in the world and the greatest black friends in the world, and as soon as you're out of their sight, you'll be like, I can't stand that motherfucker. It's not personal, it's just he's a fucking nigger. And it'll be said the same way if the person was a white person. It'd be the same way if a person was an Asian person. And they would say that same shit behind your back, behind closed doors, and shake your hands the very next day at work. Now that's the shit that I don't like. I don't like a person who's not honest. If you're racist, you're racist. If you want to be racist when you're at home, I'm okay with that. Don't expect me to come visit for tea and crumpets and shit. But if you're honest and you're racist about it, like, look, dude, to be honest with you, I don't like you because you're black. I will respect you at work because just like you, I need my fucking job. But I'm honestly, truly to God, I'm a racist. And after the Unite the Right thing that happened here, a lot of racist dudes lost their fucking jobs, man. Which is why if you're just honest from the jump, you got a good chance of losing a job, but at least you know where you stand. And you can always get a job somewhere else. I don't recommend you getting a job if you're one of those tiki torch carrying dudes, because you're probably out of a job right now and probably going to be in the same line with me when I become unemployed. So, technically I'm already unemployed. But, the thing is, honesty is a good and bad thing at the same time. And to be honest, all racial issues hurt me the most because I'm always on the fence. I've done a whole segment of On the Fence. You guys should probably check it out. But when you think about it, I mean, if you're an American, and especially if you're an American of color, specifically black Americans, you probably got a fuck ton of Native American blood in you too. If you don't have white in you, you definitely probably got some Native American blood. And if you are descendants of Native Americans from the Rainbow Coalition, then you definitely have some black and Native American blood within you. keep that in mind, that all people are human and we all have feelings and we all bleed red. I'm James Williams Jr., co-founder number 2. Be seeing you.